Thank you. Thank you very much for that warm introduction, and good morning. It is wonderful to be in such a beautiful country of Slovenia. I woke up this morning, and I was just amazed by the raw beauty of your country, and by the warmth of your people, the energy of your business. And watching everybody come in reminded me a lot about sort of where I was from, an event I was at a couple of years ago in Los Angeles, California, called the Academy Awards. The only thing that was different is it wasn't a red carpet that people were streaming through. It was blue. But also, I think our customers are better looking than the actresses and actors in Hollywood. I think the SAP people are a little bit better looking than the actresses. And I'm hoping at the end of today, you'll think that maybe what we share with you in terms of our content is at least better than some of the movies that come out of Hollywood lately. So it's very, very exciting to be here. I also want to thank our partners in the wonderful SAP team for creating the energy around this event and making sure that we had really excited individuals, our business partners, our customers. Over 300 are here today, and it's just amazing to see this. In my roles at SAP, I've had the good fortune of participating in a number of strategic events. Sapphire, a number of different customer events. But I will tell you that personally, I believe that the SAP Forum occupies a really special place in my heart. And the reason that it does is because at the SAP Forum, this is all about sharing with our customers and prospective customers SAP's leadership vision. It's about leveraging the relationships that we have with our customers and the power that happens when we touch our customers and talk about their business, that shared learning. And experientially, I can tell you that 4 years ago, 2008, 2009, if we can remember that far back, it was a little painful globally. I mean, this was at a time when the world was in chaos. Businesses, large businesses, were on the brink of going out of business. We looked at Wall Street in the United States. We were wondering if our financial institutions, the fabric of our economy, would actually be there in a month. These were scary times. And SAP, like most customers, were wondering, do we invest in events like Sapphire? And we were going to cancel Sapphire, except a remarkable thing happened. And I think this is what highlights the difference between SAP and everybody else. We have wonderful technology and solutions, and we will talk about it. World class. But what's really special is that relationship we have with our customers. Our customers refused to let us cancel Sapphire. They said, in this time of global crisis, you, SAP, have 60,000 customers. You operate in 72 countries. You are the market leader in 26 industries. We want to hear from you. We want to hear how you see things. We want to hear your opinion. And so instead of canceling Sapphire, we actually started at that time the SAP World event, the World Tour, which became the SAP Forum. So this SAP Forum occupies a warmth in my heart because it showed me, it really humbled me in understanding that precious relationship we have with our customers. And it's a humbling and an honor to be able to share that with you and our team here today about what SAP's vision is. Now, as you saw, we're celebrating this year our 40th birthday. It's a great year. There are very few companies. There are hardly any IT companies that have been around for 40 years, right, that can actually say that. And not only are we 40 years old, but we just had, as you heard, our best year ever. I wish personally I could say after 40 years, I just had my best year ever. It's not quite that easy. But as good as the past 40 years has been, as proud as we are of our past, we are even more excited about our future. And I'm going to spend the next 45 minutes or so sharing with you our vision, our collective vision for the future, what it means to us, but more importantly, what it means for you. Because as we know, all strategy, all business strategy emanates from examining the world around us, right? Identifying where the opportunities are, where the risks are, looking at your core competencies, and then trying to build those plans that leverage your strengths. And what we'll talk about here today, this concept of innovation to take advantage of your own destiny and create new markets for yourself and new opportunities for your customers. So before I go into sort of the product strategy, I thought it would be beneficial to share with you how we see the world today. How do we see the world, right, that drives our strategy? So the world today looks very different than it did just a few short years ago. To begin with, there has been this unprecedented growth in what we refer to, right, as the middle class. And this unprecedented growth has been driven largely by a relatively easy access to inexpensive natural resources. The 20th century was about the producer, not the consumer. We know the 21st century is going to be very, very different. First of all, as I had mentioned, the concept of the middle class has exploded. By 2030, there will be a 250% increase in this very important segment. Over 5 billion people on this planet will be consumers. And this is going to put an amazing, amazing change dynamic at work. First of all, in the established countries, you're going to see an aging workforce. In the emerging countries, you're going to see a demand placed on natural resources, infrastructure, and healthcare. And this is going to create a huge burden for governments, for political systems, and yes, for companies. And for example, if you take a look at just raw materials, 20 to 30% of the world's food and supply is wasted in transportation and storage. I'm not sure if many of you recall the Category 5 hurricane that hit a mature country, the United States, a couple of years ago, Katrina. When it hit, it wiped out an entire city. People were starving in the state of Louisiana, in the city of New Orleans. And it wasn't because there wasn't food. It's just that we, our politicians, our business leaders, didn't know where the food was. And when they found it, they didn't know how to get it to the people who needed it. These are business problems that sharp minds and dedicated government workers, passionate people can solve together. If you take a look at scarce resources, examine water shortages, which are expected to increase over 50% in the next 20 years, and the burden that's going to place, and the cry in the desire for innovation to address this type of a problem. So we're talking about scarce resources. We're talking about more intelligence around managing those scarce resources. This is about enterprise resource planning. And sometimes when we talk about innovation, we forget about how important it is to innovate on this core competency of SAP's around resource planning. So when people say, Pat, I love the last 40 years, but are you excited about the next 40 years? Well, if you take a look at that microdynamic and the core competency the world asks for in its business leaders, I think the 3 letters, enterprise resource planning, means a lot to us because it means a lot to our customers and it means a lot to this planet. Some of the other trends that are shaping our business, this concept of new global economic balance. Over the last 15 years, the emerging markets have become more relevant and have turned into the engine of growth. China is expected to surpass the United States of America in GDP by 2018. And right here in EMEA, Middle East, Northern Africa, MENA, Russia, and Africa are expected to grow faster at a 5 to 8% times growth than Western Europe. And all these regions are going to become the centers of economic demand, and market power is going to shift in their favor. And this is going to have the following implications that we have to recognize. First of all, businesses are expanding into these new regions, and we at SAP have to recognize this. How do we help them move into those regions? Equally important, there are going to be global multinationals that are coming out of these regions. And we at SAP need to get closer to these customers and help them expand their businesses from these emerging markets. You need to really evaluate, like we have, what this trend means to your business. What are your strengths? How do you capitalize on those to seize these change dynamics? And think about this concept and the implications of a real-time connected world. We are literally right in the middle of a tectonic behavioral shift, which is creating a once-in-a-lifetime, a once-in-a-generation, massive technology shift. And I can tell you that we at SAP intend to lead the way with our customers. Mobile and connectivity. Did you know that there are more smartphones and tablets shipped today than desktop devices? Did you know that in the world, there are over 5 billion mobile phones? That's more phones than toothbrushes. And it's sad to say that in many economies, an individual below the age of 28 is more likely to have a phone and a smartphone than a job. That's not right, but it is a reality. And if you take a look at what's happening, this is just going to continue to increase. It's 5 billion today, but by 2020, it's going to be 24 billion. So just think, imagine the possibilities of what this means to your business. When we look at this, we see it represents supply chains that are becoming real time. Instantaneous tracking of patients' healthcare and connecting with patient and provider networks is becoming a reality. Devices communicating with each other, reaching your customers you could never have imagined participating in your ecosystem are now available. This concept also of social collaboration is really enabling this shift from the providers of goods and services to the consumer of goods and services. Think about this. There are over 3 billion social networking profiles on the internet today, soon to pass the number of email accounts. But if you think about contextually the rich data that are in these consumer profiles, in these social profiles, and what that means potentially to your business compared to an email account, the possibilities are enormous if you recognize them. Right? So smartphones combined with social networks are not just about connecting people with people anymore. They've become tools for energizing entire populations. Think about the Arab Spring and how that population in the world was able to connect and rally and drive energy around an event through greater connectivity. It's also about connecting people, suppliers, in times of great crisis. Just think about Japan and the tsunami and how that amazing country rallied in a time of crisis and how they leveraged that world of connectivity for productive social value. And on the business front, we certainly recognize and need to take advantage and enable our customers to appreciate and serve this new consumer power base. So social technologies are going to connect buyers and suppliers like never before. And they're going to change how companies and how brands communicate to their customers and how organizations look, identify new talent, recruit new talent, and retain new talent. It's really going to change the way we look at opportunities. And this movement on devices and social networks and collaboration is creating a massive wave of data. Think about this statistic. From the time of mankind, from the time we started building information until 2003, we created 5 petabytes of data. In the last 12 hours, less than the time it took for me to fly from Paris to Slovenia, we created 5 petabytes of information. And you know what? It's going to double in 18 months. But enterprise data and this explosion and the challenges, not just about managing that growth, about getting it under control and reducing costs. No, no, no. It's much, much more. The leaders, the market leaders, the companies that recognize this, that can actually leverage their rich structured and unstructured data compared to their competition, are going to be able to reach new customers. They're going to identify new opportunities through the eyes of their customers, not just their employees. They're going to be able to enter new markets, and they're going to be able to innovate like never before. So this big data challenge, is it a risk? Is it an opportunity? It's really up to the leadership in our businesses to paint the right picture. Right? And this shift to the consumer is going to have further implications. To give you an example of what this means to SAP as it relates to our strategy, right? The business users in our customer base, in prospective customers, really, they want to be able to perform their tasks, their business tasks at work, the same way they use information technology in their homes, with their friends. It's the reality, right? Our customers are now expecting from us more innovation, better solutions, and they want those solutions delivered to any device, in any environment, and through whatever means necessary. They don't care. They just want the information, right? In our industry, if we cannot deliver business applications fast, beautifully, and in an easy-to-use manner, we're out of business. That's the reality. And we're up for it. We see this as an amazing opportunity. Low-cost deployment is essential. We can't live in this world where it takes us 18 months, 12 months to deploy mission-critical systems to enable your business. The world is just moving too fast. So speed is driving our innovation strategy as well. So for us, and I think for many of you here today, winning is going to depend on, in our opinion, sort of the following, right? Your connection with your customers has to be instantaneous. An instantaneous loop from when you identify what they need to when you deliver what they need. Has to be lightning fast, right? You have to have amazing insight into their businesses, into their wants, into their desires. This is the concept we call real time. Some people say, what does this mean? Well, real time means understanding what's going on. Real time means understanding what's going on and doing something about it. And when we take a look at personalization, you can forget about mass marketing. These customers think they are the only customer in the world. This is about a market segment of one. A market segment of one that changes their mind every 4 months, that is used to getting things that they want. This is the new reality. It's scary for some. It is an amazing opportunity for others, right? So these trends raise many challenges, as I mentioned, but it also creates many opportunities for the market leaders. And so that brings us to what SAP is doing about this, and really it calls into focus our innovation strategy. So if you think about a resource-constrained world that's going to require robust and efficient applications to efficiently manage these scarce resources, as I mentioned before, that's enterprise resource planning. That calls into play our business suite, our business applications. Permanently connecting with people is going to require a whole new set of mobile applications, especially in these emerging countries. This is our mobile strategy. And we also have to recognize it's not just about going from the desktop to mobile. In these emerging countries I visited in Africa, they are not even going to the desktop. They are leapfrogging the desktop. They're mobile right now. We'll see this in a customer example a little bit later. And these social networks, the mass data that they're going to generate, right, is going to call into power massive capabilities around analyzing data, visualizing data, and then acting on that data. So this is our analytics and our database and technology strategy. In this shift from the customer wanting things in any method, that calls into play our cloud strategy. So the 5 markets that we go to market in is a reflection of the business opportunity that our customers have built strategies around that call into play our core competencies and our strengths. We intend to be there today with our customers today so then we can create the new tomorrow. So, if we take a look at innovation, if I could say one thing about our strategy, it's based on innovation, right? And you cannot address today's challenges with yesterday's solutions. So at SAP, what we've decided to do is shift from SAP out to customer in. We have completely focused our innovation strategy around you, our customer, right? Innovation starts by looking at the customer and challenging the status quo. So in a world that will soon be over 7 billion people, right? We at SAP challenge the assumption that the desktop is the best way to interact with customers, and therefore business software. We're challenging the assumption that data needs to be stored in these complex relational database management systems structured on slow-moving, outdated disk technology. It's got to be in memory, it's got to be real time. We also challenge the belief that the world is all about the cloud, what the cloud companies say, or it's all about on-premise. Heck, we think customers today want choices. They don't want a forced march. They want to be able to live in one environment, operate in another, and they want a seamless orchestration of their applications and their data. And you know what? That is fundamental to our strategy. We all believe, again, that this starts with the innovation agenda and accelerating that. So in a globally connected world where everything from products to services to options to opinions and thoughts and even crises, as I mentioned, propagate at high speed, innovation really becomes the key differentiator in business strategy. And in Europe, as I've learned over the past 6 months, personally, I've known about this, right, because we operate in a global world with global customers, but personally, I've really experienced this in Europe, right? We have an obligation at SAP and an opportunity to innovate and increase the productivity to keep European companies competitive in this world. Because we have a value proposition, our mission is around best run companies. And we think that if we execute on that mission of helping our customers become best run businesses, that yes, we can actually deliver our aspirational vision of creating a better planet, a best run world. And we think by driving innovation, by working with our customers here in Europe, we actually can have a fundamental impact with you on the outcome of the challenging times that we're in today. So at SAP, we actually drink our own champagne. It's not just Pat Bakey from the United States coming up and telling you about what you should do. We actually believe this, and we've done it. And it has changed our whole strategy, and it has actually created the opportunity I said at the beginning about the optimism we have for the next 40 years. So we accelerated this innovation agenda a few years ago. Because we had our best year ever last year, I think the results speak for themselves. But placing a winning bet on a customer-driven strategy, right, means that these next 40 years, right, must be a relentless cycle of innovation. Right? So let's have a look right now of how we have innovated our strategy and what I'll refer to as these 5 market categories. At the foundation of all of these categories is what we refer to as SAP HANA, our revolutionary in-memory platform, which is completely disrupting the traditional database technology marketplace and competitors. As I mentioned, this is the foundation on which all of these market categories are today and will innovate in the future. With SAP HANA, we're unleashing the potential of creating a radically new application system, opening the areas of possibility for our customers to execute new business strategies. Right. So SAP HANA, as I mentioned, revolutionary in-memory database. It is a game changer for you and for the industries in which we compete in. It's a game changer because it challenges the status quo. With HANA, you can simplify and collapse your IT architectures and gain incredible cost and speed advantages in both retrieving information, analyzing information, and then executing on the business strategy associated with that insight. And when I talk about speed, I'm not just talking about a little bit faster. These are order of magnitude. They're mind-blowing orders of magnitude. I'm talking 100,000 times faster in processing speed. This isn't just making screens appear faster or data show up faster. This is actually about, right, getting your arms around this information and changing business strategies, because you can now look at this information. Think about some examples. T-Mobile, global, going to market in a very fast-paced industry where product life cycles are 12 months or less. When they run campaigns to 21 million customers, analyzing the results of those campaigns took weeks. Was the campaign effective? Did we reach the right customers? What products did they want? Do we have the right product strategy? Couple of months, compressed into hours. They now know within hours what products are selling, what customers are buying. Amazing. But this isn't just about economics. Think about the healthcare industry. This is much, much more than just making things go faster. Leading healthcare companies right now are leveraging HANA to actually analyze DNA associated with cancer treatment scenarios. It used to take some of these, and I've worked with them, healthcare companies, up to 3 to 5 days to actually get the results back. Think about what that time, that waiting period means to that patient. If you can compress that, which they can, into minutes and deliver an analysis and a recommendation, think about the well-being. That's far greater than a business outcome, and we can do it today, right? Imagine the possibilities, right? Business applications. Companies need to focus on core competencies, and they need to grow from their core, as I mentioned. That's why SAP initiated its innovation cycle by focusing in on ERP in our business suite. And the fundamental drivers here are increasing capabilities by industry, the functionality piece, the business scenario piece, the use cases. But we are attacking affordability. We are attacking usability. We are attacking time to value, the cycle from purchase to deployment to value realization, right? And also, in this world of change, we also understand that risk and mitigating risk is pretty important. So we're going to ensure that we are going to mitigate this risk associated with new innovation cycles by announcing that all of our innovation to the SAP Business Suite is going to be based on a non-disruptive deployment methods offered on a quarterly basis. You don't get releases every 18, 24 months. They're released quarterly now, and it's up to you if you want to take advantage of them. And because we can innovate without disruption, we have extended our maintenance until 2020. So in this world of uncertainty, we've actually created greater predictability for your existing investments and for your future investments, right? So about implementing in time to value, innovation is taking place here in terms of what we refer to as our RDS, or rapid deployment solutions. And this is a way where we can actually deliver ready-to-use combinations of software, predefined services, and pre-configured content at a fixed price. Speed, predictability about business outcomes on your investment, right? Think about this. You can actually now deploy customer relationship management, human capital management, sustainability solutions, not in months or years, but in weeks, even in some cases faster. Think of the possibilities, right? We're also focusing on improving the functionality or the speed of the deployment, as I had mentioned before. And we're really going to take a focus on the new user interfaces. The workplace dynamics are shifting. We actually are in a world right now where, because we've been around for 4 years, there are 4 generations of employees and families that are actually working for our customers. And that dynamic we have to recognize, and we have to address it. There are new users coming into our customer base, and we have to make sure that this consumerization of IT is actually empowered by our innovations. Right? And this is why SAP is investing in the next generation of the user experiences, which is going to be based on HTML5, which is going to bring this consumer-like experience into the workplace. When we take a look at analytics, the first 30 years, people spent all their time with SAP getting information into the system. It was about transactional efficiency. It was about getting information in a single view of the customer. The last 8 years or so, with our analytics strategy, it's been creating insight, getting the information out of the system. But it's largely been trying to understand what happened. Our analytics strategy going forward, first of all, cannot be talked about without mentioning HANA. It's about not looking at what happened. It's about understanding what is happening and predicting what will happen. That's our analytics strategy. So it's a combination of analytics, visualization, and HANA. So if you take a look at that combination and you bring it to customer scenarios, think about the banking industry. Think about what it means in real time to be able to establish a risk profile for a potential customer and make a decision on the fly on a mobile device in a part of the world that you've never even thought about serving. Think about if you're a CIO, if you're a CFO, if you're running one of these global investment banks that right now cannot predict what their risk profile is. I asked a CIO 4 months ago what it meant if you could actually understand real time what his risk profile was. He said 100 million euro. That's what it means to his business, right? That's what it means to our business, right? That's what it means to financial stability in a global setting, right? And this is what we're going to attack. So why don't we move right now, because we're getting a little short on time, why don't we move to a customer example of exactly how we're leveraging analytics real time. There's a company, Subterfugas, in Russia, a SAP customer for 15 years in the oil and gas operations. And they manage maintenance and repair of such complex plants spread over this vast territory in Siberia. And they are challenged, very, very challenged with how they optimize scheduling and resource planning. And this is their story. Let's listen to them. Can we go to the video?
My name is Rinat Gimranov. I'm a CIO of Surgutneftegas and we run SAP.
Surgutneftegas is one of the largest Russian oil companies. We produce oil and associated gas and sell oil and oil products. We have more than 100,000 employees, and our main area of activity is Western Siberia, Eastern Siberia, and the Leningrad region. We perform almost the entire service activity independently. We not only produce oil, we drill and transport it as well. The production facilities are dispersed across hundreds of kilometers, and that definitely impacts how we have to provision materials. We have to know that the right materials arrive at production facilities at exactly the right time, in the required quantity and quality. Since we perform so many different activities, from services and maintenance, construction and drilling, the range of materials is huge. We use about 140,000 different materials, which creates several million records a year that have to be analyzed to determine which materials should go to which locations. We've been using SAP solutions for more than 15 years, and we've accumulated a huge volume of data. The possibility to work directly with operational data in a real-time mode with large volumes of our data is a tremendous opportunity that we wanted to take advantage of. With SAP in-memory computing technology, we can manage the provisioning and delivery of material and technical resources. For example, in planning the availability of staff on sites, planning of production facilities, and putting together parameters that evaluate actual versus planned operations. After our first successful implementation of SAP in-memory computing, we can now see using this technology in almost all areas that need analysis. Currently, to get the right information, our specialists have to use two systems, the ERP system for operations data and our data warehouse to get aggregated historical information. Then they have to further aggregate this data, and it can take several minutes to get these reports. Today, we can now give them a tool to do this in seconds. The new SAP in-memory computing technology first and foremost makes it possible to receive reports faster. This means that what previously took us several minutes is now done in seconds. And furthermore, and this is critical too, we provide managers with a lot more freedom to analyze data in new ways. All our multidimensional volumes of data, more than 230 gigabytes, results in hundreds of millions of records. SAP in-memory computing brings new flexibility and freedom to analyzing this data in real time, in every dimension, and at every depth. I'm convinced that this technology has a great future. Within the next year and a half, Surgutneftegas plans to use SAP in-memory computing in virtually every area.
SAP helps Surgutneftegas run better.
All right. So Surgutneftegas is a great story. It really highlights what I've been trying to communicate to you, which is this new world. So we as a company, because we've been around 40 years, we participated in, we're the producer, we build it, you buy it. The story? This story tells about how the customers tell us where to place our technology. The amazing thing about the world we're in right now is as dynamic as in-memory is, as wonderful as HANA is, our customers are telling us exactly how it's going to change their business, and it's driving our innovation. We call this co-innovation. This is an example, analytics, HANA, use case for industry, and it's exploding. So if you think about that, and then you apply it to this database and technology marketplace, this is, I would say, a marketplace that over the last 20 years has not gone through a lot of profound change, and there are a lot of reasons for that. But it's been largely void of innovation. It's been dominated by a couple of providers whose business model is based on leveraging the current, leveraging the past. We intend, because we have nothing to lose here, it's all about the customer and the future, right? We are going to disrupt this marketplace like never before. It is going to change massively. It already is. Our vision, which we are executing on today, is to deliver one logical, real-time platform for all transactions and analysis workloads. So OLTP and OLAP, this world, is going to collapse into a single unified landscape. With this evolution and non-disruptive integration of SAP and Sybase, we're going to integrate our products, and customers are now going to have this unprecedented capability to transact, to move, to store, process, and analyze data in real time while reducing their costs along this common design and landscape management capability structure. This SAP real-time data platform is comprised of SAP HANA and our Sybase data management offerings and SAP solutions for enterprise information management, what we refer to as EIM. And for those of you that are trying to figure out how we're going to rationalize SAP HANA and Sybase IQ or ASC, let me tell you the following. We intend to continue to invest in the SAP current product because it fits into our landscape perfectly. Our customers want it, and they want to see ongoing investments. And we're going to give our customers that stability. They have the best technology today, and we want to make sure that we continue to leverage that marketplace position that which we occupy. So SAP is bringing together these great technologies, SAP Sybase, to make the best possible solutions for our customers. Now let's take a look at the cloud. What does the cloud mean for our customers? And that answers what the cloud means for SAP. For us, therefore, cloud is all about simplification. It's about enabling the consumption or the use of software without the complexity of installing software on-premise and without running long implementation projects. It's fast time to value. And to do this, we've actually taken two approaches, very different from the marketplace today. The first approach is we intend to have the business suite in the cloud. This is largely an offering for small and medium businesses and for subsidiaries of large companies. We also have what we refer to as line of business applications in the cloud and analytics applications in the cloud for departments or for, I would say, less specific use scenarios. So the business suite is what we're referring to as our business by design, the BYD solution, right? And we are also making the B1 on-demand offering in the cloud. When it comes to these line of business solutions, we have sales in the cloud, we have HR, talent management in the cloud, we have sustainability and travel management, a whole host of applications in the cloud. We have analytics in the cloud today. So whether you want to run an entire business or whether you just want to run a department or run horizontal solutions, you can now have those delivered through a cloud. Fast, cheap, easy to consume. And our acquisition of SuccessFactors has actually catapulted us into the leadership position in the cloud. We have over 15 million customers in the cloud today and growing rapidly. So it's not just about talent management. The entire Employee Central strategy of SuccessFactors, marriage and orchestrated with the SAP HR strategy, is game-changing for our customers and for SAP. Right? So, mobility. Let's take a look at mobility. As I mentioned, SAP has this vision that's happening of the desktop moving to the device. It's all about the device. And our strategy really, when it comes to mobility, has three components. First, it's about establishing a mobile platform. And off that mobile platform, we're going to focus on security and messaging. We are the world leader in terms of delivering IM messages globally. More transactions, more messages flow through our network than anywhere else. We are the leader. And of course, our heritage is applications. We will build and we will enable our customers and our partner ecosystem to build mobile applications. We have over 30 today. We'll have 200 very soon. We intend to be the iStore of business applications, leveraging our customer base, leveraging our partner ecosystem, and our own internal development. So if you want to take a look at what, again, mobility means for your business, don't listen to me. Let's listen to another customer. In this case, here is a customer, National Charter Bank in South Africa, and they're going to tell you their story of how they're working with SAP to identify whole new sets of customers, whole new markets, and how they're taking advantage of that real time today. Can we see the video?
Standard Bank is the largest bank in South Africa. In fact, we're the largest bank in Africa. We have a significant market share, about 25% market share in South Africa, with market capitalization in excess of 16 billion euros in 2011. We have a very long history with SAP. We're one of the pioneer banks in the world in terms of using the core banking SAP platform, and we've been working together to dramatically transform Standard Bank into becoming a more customer-centric bank. One of our biggest challenges, obviously, is poverty, and we see that economic upliftment is an absolute imperative for our country to grow and prosper. 10 million people do not have access to day-to-day banking services. We see that as an opportunity to bring the unbanked formally into the banking sector. The infrastructure that we've got historically does not really suit the needs going forward, and the mobile technology gives us a fantastic opportunity to actually leapfrog that. We can issue an agent of the bank with a mobile phone with the ability to open an account on behalf of a prospective customers, where they live, where they work, anywhere in the country.
A lot of people never had bank accounts because they don't have the proof of residence, and then they are denied to open accounts inside the branch. We open an account with only the ID. So they just provide the ID, we open an account, and then it's active, and then they're able to use it.
Most adults, in fact, carry mobile phones and are very comfortable with mobile technology on a day-to-day basis.
When money is coming into the account, it's notifying them on the phone, and what they do with the mobile phones is transfer funds from their own accounts into a different Standard Bank account, and they're also able to buy electricity on the phone. They're able to buy airtime on the phone.
The inclusive banking model really is built around 5,000 what we call bank shops, which is really franchised bank facilities or outlets, and service those customers. at the 5,000 points of presence across the country. It's all enabled by SAP in the back end and the Sybase Unwired platform. And very, very important, at the end of that process, on the cell phone we've got 3 basic products. It's a basic savings product, it's a transaction or deposit, it's a funeral plan. It's simple, it's easy. We can open an account in less than 10 minutes anywhere in the country. That's immensely powerful for our customers. The responsibility that we carry is to help the emerging market and the unbanked to actually get formal access, to get into the economy, for them to be empowered and play a critical role to drive growth in South Africa. And we see the work that we're doing with the SAP technology as a fantastic opportunity to actually play that role that we should be playing in South Africa now and into the future. SAP helps Standard Bank South Africa run better.
Amazing. I love the customer examples because they take the presentation from the screen to the real world. And these aren't just concepts, these aren't intellectual discussions, this is the reality. And it is just so exciting to be working with customers with the vision of serving the unserved, of growing their economies by being market leaders. I'll sort of start bringing this to a close by really focusing in on one important theme, and that's orchestration. So while we communicate our strategy along 5 business areas, it's really important to impress upon you that we don't look at the world through a product. We don't just look at the world through solutions. We look at bringing all of these capabilities together, orchestrating them, so we can provide capabilities to our customers to support their business strategies. So really, as good as we are, and we are the best in every single one of these categories, our secret sauce is orchestrating all of them. The example you saw around analytics and HANA, the example that I'm going to show you around industry, around CRM, around analytics, these solutions. It's about orchestration. It's about giving customers what they want, where they want, deploying it on-premise or running it in the cloud, starting in one point, ending up in another. Flexibility, stability, and choice is the foundation of our innovation strategy. So the last customer example I'll show you is what a customer in France, Casino, has actually done by trying to bring all these together in the form of a solution to radically change the way that they interact with their customers, establish leadership, and don't feel threatened by this consumer revolution, but actually empowered, and they're taking advantage of it. And here is the Casino story.
The Casino Group is a company with a turnover of almost 30 billion euros, which is operating in more than 10 countries. In France, we have almost 10,000 sales outlets and almost 11,000 worldwide. The Casino Group is a multi-format group generally focused on food products. Our group follows a strategy with a significant amount of e-commerce operations. Everybody hurries with the deployment of their online shopping and drive-through solutions and express systems. The aim of the Drive Solo project is to simplify our customers' lives, allowing them to place an order online either from their desktop computer at work or their mobile phone, and then pick up their goods. The service is 100% free and is very fast too. 2 hours after you make an order, you can pick up your goods in less than 5 minutes. The major challenge is to personalize the way in which we interact with a customer. This affinity-based strategy depends on us having a 360-degree view of our customer. SAP makes it possible for us to know our customers, to know their shopping habits, and in general to achieve the best possible direct marketing strategy. We have the possibility to recommend products to our customers, to make personalized offers, and thus give the customer what he really desires. Herein lays the real strength of the SAP CRM tool and its marketing functions.
The SAP solution allows us to meet our customers' vision and above all helps us to improve the quality of the reception and services we can give to our customers. by a number of facts based on information that is truly global and also reflecting reality.
We are able to inform the customer about our available stock online and in real time. With this, we find ourselves at a service level which comes extremely close to 100%. SAP CRM is molded around both the products and the customers and allows us to have the most perfect web-based business possible. The number of customers is constantly growing, and the customers and products' attributes are gaining importance. Consequently, we expect IT solutions to be capable of delivering information which is very relevant to our customers in real time.
Nous avons choisi de mettre en place.
We also chose to implement the HANA technology, which is recommended by SAP.
Cette technologie nous permet.
This technology provides us with information from the CRM platform in real time.
Plateforme CRM.
The Casino Group has a lot of ambitions concerning SAP, with regard to the marketing, the human resources, and the finance. Ultimately, our ambition is to have a unique and centralized tool with which we can manage all of our operational processes.
With SAP,
the world of e-commerce is going to open up for Casino. The SAP CRM solution allows us to address the entirety of our customers' needs via a single integrated platform.
SAP
helps Casino
run better.
SAP helps Casino run better.
That's an amazing story. As you heard, in my past, I ran strategic industries in North America. Retail was one of those industries. I can tell you that most of the retailers, and I'm talking large retailers in the United States, are scared. They're scared about this consumer power. When you can walk in with your smartphone and bar scan and pull up 5 products with GPS and identify where they're located, offered by who, cheaper, that's scary. When you're investing so much in physical inventory, when you're trying to establish customer relationships, that is scary. So I'm going to go back to a point I mentioned earlier. It's scary for some. It's an opportunity for others. Casino, because they had the investment, because they knew who their customers were, and because they were on top of this real-time concept, they're actually out in front of this. They are driving their strategy, and they see amazing opportunities. We're piloting, and I think I'm not going beyond my non-disclosure, but we're piloting with them right now under this co-innovation umbrella on actually when a customer comes into the store. With technology, they know the customers in the store. They know the buying patterns. They know if they're online, what they're coming in the shop. So real time on their device, and sometimes on their carts, they will actually create an offer in the moment based on what they want to buy on like-minded or affinity-related products. What they've done in the pilots, they have taken a conversion rate in the old world of, at best, 1% to 2% for promotions, and they're achieving 50 to 55%. That is a powerful return on investment. That is what is available for customers, businesses that see opportunity in this new world. So in closing, let me sort of summarize by saying, SAP is a global company, right? I come from North America. I have the privilege to work with companies now in EMEA, to be in Slovenia, which is amazing, to share and to learn. But while we're a global company, our heart beats in Europe. And right now, Europe is going through some tough times in certain markets. So at SAP, and especially here in EMEA, we want to be able to contribute through our business strategy, through our dialogue with you, to a stronger business environment in a stronger Europe. And I believe that innovation really is the answer to achieving, which at times, if you read the paper, if you experience it in your home, are like scenarios that you don't know we can escape from. Innovation provides that escape hatch. Our software, our solutions, our relationship with you can be game-changing, right? We believe that using our experience, our capabilities, our vision with yours, we can help you drive the innovation in your markets for your customers. I can tell you right now, the technology is there. It is ready. I can tell you SAP, Simon and his team are here. We're ready. So I'm asking all of you, I'm asking you to challenge us. Challenge is good. This customer-driven, I want our customers to drive our innovation cycle. I want you to pull us into your business and co-innovate with us and tackle these challenges head on, right? We only succeed, you only succeed if we leverage the relationship I talked about at the very beginning, which is unique to us, and we put it to work. We intend to meet this challenge head on, and we actually believe in our minds and our hearts that we can help you and we can help Europe, really, really grow. And for us, we actually believe that if Europe runs better, then together, SAP and you will be able to run like never before. It's really been an honor to share this information with you. I hope you found it insightful, and I hope it can guide you in some way to leverage the relationship you have, or for those of you that aren't SAP customers, I think the unique relationship that maybe you'll start to feel here in this room and in this event today to pull us into your business. So please take full advantage of the SAP Forum. This is not a presentation where we're over. This is a presentation that keys off the further investigation that I know you'll anxiously participate in today. So thank you for welcoming me to your country, to your businesses, and for the privilege to share our strategy with you, and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.